Dennis in front with the best goal we've seen so far. Here come the Saints, fired across the front. Goal by Nancy. Give her half an inch and she will punish you. Baxter, one of the greatest finishes we've seen on any of our broadcasts. Hello and welcome back to the State Hockey Centre. I am joined for game number 2 by Fergus Roundtree from North East Hockey Club. Fergus, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Dave. How are you?
Good. I can't help but notice that you're still wearing a school hoodie.
That's correct, yeah, Year 12 jumper.
Strapping young man next to me. Looking forward to this one. We are about getting ready for technicals, but I just wanted to talk, where are we season-wise? Because I've been away from hockey and I'm hearing stories, I'm hearing things around that Port Adelaide have lost a couple of players, so they're not as dominant as they were last year. So are we looking at another Adelaide Seacliff Grand Final? Is that where we are at the moment?
It's looking like that at the moment. I mean, Seacliff are pretty well up the top at the moment. I think they're a game in front. Adelaide are sitting at second spot, pretty comfortable. I think those two teams will be playing off for the qualifying final. And then Port Adelaide will be finishing third, I would imagine. I think I've heard they've lost Cameron Joyce for a while through injury, which may
that's always going to be
put a dampener on
blow,
things.
isn't it? Interesting tonight, because obviously Seacliff, the head coach of Seacliff for this year, is one Craig.
Victory.
Craig Victory. I was Jig. He's gone and coaching Seacliff this year, so he's also taken over the Storm. The Eastern States, coached by Mark Victory, the chainsaw versus the jigsaw tonight.
Yeah, it's a family affair.
I know, right? We should get a camera that just stays on those. I want to see a little bit of brotherly fighting through this one. That would be nice. All for the ground. So I was asked the question in the girls' game, which way do I see this one going? And I hedged. I didn't really want to make a call. I'm going to leave that to you. So
I'm going to go with the Storm at the moment. I just think they have a numerous amount of chemistry. Seacliff players throughout the team. I mean, Craig's the coach, and they play well with one another. So I'm going with the Storm tonight.
Well, Lockie Bussica made his debut for the Boroughs this year, the junior squad.
That's correct,
Obviously, Mickey Spano, who we've just seen making a look to build from the back. There is a runner if he can find him, just peels away to this near side. Doesn't need him, keeps going, gets another circle entry, looks for the penalty corner, gets the penalty corner. First one of the game will go the way of the Storm.
Great call there from umpire Jennings. Stick check. Fair call.
So a lot earlier, I think we saw 3 in the girls' game in total. So the first one of the game has come in the first quarter, and it has set off like it's on fire.
Yes, the Storm will love an early corner, and especially if they can get a goal up early, ease the pressure a bit.
Well, you look at, the talent that's going to sit at the top of these two batteries is unbelievable. You've got Bussico and Wilson. Both of them capable of a drag flick. Wilson probably the better one of the two, you would say.
Yes, I would say he scored 7 goals last year in the Super League, Wilson.
Injection comes, it is going to go to Wilson. The drag flick is there, good save. Now they're going to try and get it. Appeals, and the appeal is answered.
Just hit a foot there. I think it was hit the foot of James Keeves.
And the first one was a low one. I was also watching Daniel Cox was out and about with the drag flick. Have they gone? No, it is 3. They've got 3. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. So there's 3 people who are capable of drag flicking. It's going to go to Bussico. Bussico fires it. Just misses the target. Just talk me through how you would feel standing on that line seeing that.
I would be very nervous and praying the ball would not come to my head.
That's why you wear the mask. That one's fired across and misses everybody. And the Storm can go again. Wilson is just going to leave it behind.
What a luxury for Craig Victory having those 3 at the top.
Now, in my very young hockey life, I've been covering, I think we worked out this is my 4th season of covering hockey, but in my young hockey life, I've never seen 3 batteries.
That's the first time I've seen it in my 10 years of playing.
Well, Craig Victory is an innovator.
He is.
Cox sends it to Wilson, and Cox will get it back, gets himself under pressure. Has to come out and almost act as a last defender. Couldn't stay on his line, just miscontrolled in the storm. He'll be able to go.
Good pressure applied by the strikers for the Storm, forcing the turnover.
I do have to say there is one disappointment for me so far, Fergus, in this first Premier League game. I cannot see one headband out there.
Very rare, and most of them have short hair as well.
I can see one man bun.
First we've seen a
Mitchell Barr organising a hole. Incredibly fast. Free hit will go the way of the Saints.
great energy applied by Matt Morton up the front, leading the press for the Storm.
Cleghorn slides it through, manages to find Thomas. Thomas found Fred Gray, and then the two number 7s went at it. Al Oliver.
Very creative, Al Oliver.
Hand-eye coordination of Al Oliver is something to behold. And the Saints looking to build again. Beats one, beats two, beats the third one. Can't get past Busico. Busico will step back inside. Wonderful close control. Manages to make himself time and space. That's what the best do, Fergus, is when they're under pressure, they can find the time and space that they need.
It's just great composure there from Busico. He's done it all his career. Great tackle as well.
And then anywhere will do from Dan Mitchell.
Looks like we have Todd Kiddo warming up back there.
Yeah, freshly back from Vanuatu. There is a young Kitto on the way. Just couldn't quite control that one, James Humphreys, and that'll go for a long corner. It looks like the Saints, because Gleeson is having to work his way back, but it does certainly look like the Saints are going to try and employ a high striker and just stretch them out, but Martinez finds himself at the right place at the right time. Kind of chops it through, but they're the worst ones for the goalkeepers.
Definitely.
Not what the goalkeeper was expecting. There's not a lot you can do with that. Martinez, in the blink of an eye, will score the first goal of the game.
Just a breakdown of play there, and Martinez is in the right spot. Nice goal.
It's not that the goals come against the run of it's not that it's come against the run of play, but certainly you wouldn't have had a favourite in the opening 7-8 minutes of this quarter.
It's been very even so far, but
just that goal out of the blue. Cox, his familiar position at sweeper, sends it forward. To Busico, just look for the overhead, couldn't quite get it where he wanted it, but it does work out well for him. Then they'll try and step back inside. Striding forward was Cooper. Stolen by Busico, lovely by Busico, beats the first one. Then he will step back inside, just has it poked away. And that's about as crucial a touch as you can get from Cody Thomas, because if he'd managed to get himself free there, all sorts of problems.
Could have been another one. Yeah, great tackle there from Thomas. Nice and low.
Just see the replay of the goal. Martinez managing to just sneak around the back. Defence went to sleep somewhat. Again, we just see that forward line pressure from the Storm. Can't quite keep control of it. And Saints will come down the line to Gleeson. Gleeson has Cox and Busico for company. Just throw it into the middle, and Mitchell will come across and intercept. He will send it down the line. Almost ran himself into danger, Al Oliver. Mitchell lifts it over the top and then we'll fire it forward. Excellent work from Wells again to just give himself some time and space. Then Keeves will lose out to Oliver. And Oliver will get the free hit.
Yeah, just a stick check there. It was pretty ordinary. Jennings calls it.
Jennings is an absolute stalwart of these broadcasts as well. He's been with us for all the seasons that we've done it. Mitchell will send it to the top of the circle. All sorts of stick contact going on in there, and will be another free hit. This took too long. Again, the Saints just can't get through. A couple of exasperated players in blue.
It's good defensive recognition from the Storm. Immediate turnover, and now they can set up their shape.
Hard work again at the top from the Saints, but they've managed to slip it through to Mitchell. Mitchell will get on his bike, then send it into the middle. Finds a Storm player, gets on the back stick, just trying to find the right time. Just doesn't want to pull the trigger. Still working hard, trying to find a penalty corner. Nothing coming, nothing given. And the Saints almost getting away. Came off the foot, but they're happy with it. We may as well play on.
It's great defending there from Thomas. Just held Morton out, forcing him into a turnover.
Just didn't want to give him the opportunity to pull the trigger. You could see him wanting to.
Yeah.
Another interception. Can the Saints come out now? Far side and down the line. Got Dylan Evans on the number 16, but I don't think that is Dylan Evans.
It's not Dylan Evans.
So it will be a Saints ball in a dangerous position. They have to come back though. Just trying to draw the Storm out to try and give themselves a little bit more space. Lee will get it back. Turns inside, has someone available here, and that somebody is James Humphreys. There's a little deflection there, and it's fired at goal. Keeper does very, very well, and then we'll kick it out, and it will go out of the side.
So, good shot there from O'Shea, making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Good save by Wells, I think, in the goals.
And the Saints are going to be able to launch again. Some repeat pressure from the men in blue. Happy to play around the back again, and I think what they're trying to do is draw the Storm out. I think if the Storm are allowed to set up around the circle and just prevent those circle entries, then the Saints are quite happy to come all the way out, try and draw the Storm out and make some spaces for those circle entries.
It looks like they're setting up back four. They try to force it down the middle, and it's a turnover.
Gray got to stick to it, goes out. Storm will build from the back again. The overhead again, but the Saints managed to get a stick on it. Gray is going to try and chase it down. Went out though. That's what we like to see, a bit of commitment. Fucking in front, just couldn't quite get it under control. He did very well. It was coming at him at a rate of knots.
It's a very good skill, that flat tomahawk. It can cause some damage to the defence.
That's a short one and almost hung out to dry. Now they can turn again. Gray gets his head up, has runners. Can he find one? Almost just a little bit too far in front of Mitten. And Curtis Wilson will get control of it and manage to play out.
Oh,
Martinez, the goal scorer, does very, very well. Turns out of a blind alley, but then runs into trouble, but gets the free hit.
Great individual play there from Martinez. Knew he had nothing on. Had to run it.
So not played from exactly where the umpire wants it to be played. And we're going to go back.
This will give the time. This will give Storm the time to set up, get their shape. It looks like they're going back three and 2 DMs.
Yeah, very fluid. Al Oliver and Lockie Bussico in those DM positions.
Oh, back four extension here.
Yeah, it's very, very fluid. They are swapping and changing a lot because now Bussico's gone back into that back three and Wilson then moved up. Total hockey.
It is. They want to try.
Oh, and they've just held it short. Will it come all the way? Mitchell has to work hard. Does very, very well. That's a wonderful pass. Oh, it's messy in there. There's a foot. Oh.
Brave call there from Lockie Pole, the umpire.
Yeah, I don't think that's Damon Lang because I think Damon Lang is the goalkeeper. Did we see the foot? I didn't. Well, I don't know. That's
obviously Pole saw something.
The umpire is always right. Oh, again, they're putting themselves under pressure. And just like that, the first quarter is over. We just have another look.
Oh,
I can't see it.
it looked like it hit the Storm's foot.
I mean, and even then I couldn't see it. There's a wry smile from Al Oliver as he runs away. It could be 1-1. Should it have been 1-1? We don't know. We'll have a chat about it during the break and we'll be right back. So we are back and the Storm are getting ready to go. Should the Saints be 1-1? I can't see anything on that one. I don't see a foot at all, I think. Al Oliver's smile as he walks away gives it away more than anything else. There.
Oh.
And that's off the yellow number 4. Who we don't have. I don't know who the number 4 is. I got no one next to it. That's the only foot, and it's off the yellow number 4.
Might be Richmond Spouse in the back line there. Just skimming past his foot, on his foot.
I mean, that was quick. And I mean, we had to look at it at least 3 times to work out.
The umpire was right. It was right that it's a foot,
but
but
wrong
not
direction.
The wrong team.
And the circle entry just didn't quite get there.
Great skill from Menadue.
Happy to come back to Cox. So controversy, round 1. Round 1 of the Super League. I know Lockie, and I do talk to Lockie. I don't want him to take any of this personally. We have the benefit. We watched it 4 times and in slow motion for us to actually pick it.
It's very, very hard in the heat of a moment. I've done some umpiring myself. And
back to Cox. And there we go. Todd Kitto has made an entrance.
That'll just add to the knowledge that's already out there.
we did say this Storm side is somewhat stacked. But the Saints certainly are not short of talent themselves. Not Dylan Evans, will send it down the line.
I think that might be Simon Brown from Burnside, wearing the number 16 for the Saints.
Well, you have the benefit of better and younger eyes than I have, and I am going to go with you. Oh, the Saints do get an interception and will send it across the front. Kicked away. Hard ball into Mitten. Couldn't quite bring it under control. Oh, 360 from Mitten.
Oh.
And beats the second. Jimmy Mitten deserves a goal, just couldn't quite get there. And Kitto will take control.
Did all he could there, Mitten, just couldn't get a shot away.
Good determination again from
Oh,
the number 4. Big loud blast of the whistle, just a free hit, no cards flourished. So we think it was Connor Richmond's spouse wearing the number 4. Saints again, just trying to find a way through. The forward press from both sides has been impressive so far, but now they're away. Just too far in front, and that one is going to go behind.
almost hit the post.
That was the only thing he was worried about. Here we go with Mitten. Look at that.
Oh, great individual skill, just lost control at the end. The most important bit.
Just couldn't quite get there. What's that hockey Instagram that shows skills and stuff? I think that should be submitted. Could see that one. Happy to go back to Wilson. To Busico. As Cox and Kitto available. Just shipped down the line. Managed to keep it in and still going. So Al Oliver just finding a way through where he probably didn't deserve to find a way through, and then another loose pass will find Mitchell. Mitchell will send it over the top to Oliver. Oliver just couldn't quite bring it under control. I tell you what, one of my favourite players to watch, Al Oliver. I absolutely adore watching him play hockey.
He is very skillful and he knows how to play the game. He's played since he was a kid, I believe. Looks like the Saints have a change of keeper. Dylan Evans has stepped on.
Poked away and it will find Busico. Busico just drops it off and slid out, and it's kind of gone between Mitchell and the other Storm player. Max Menadue. Push across and
Going back 4 here. Well worked.
now that you can get away, there are options here. That's a wonderful ball to Mitten. Mitten manages to get a shot on goal, kicked away. Good save. Mitten will get a second chance at it. Cox does very, very well. Fred Gray will try and find a way into that circle. Kitto and Cox trying to corral him out. Another good ball. There is a stick check in there. Then there's a goal. Gleason will even it up. The Saints won. The Storm won. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game on our hands again.
Gleason in the right spot there. Similar to the first goal. Martinez. It proves if you're in the right spots, you get on the scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, I don't know whether we can go back far enough, but that first ball to Mitten just opened up the Storm. Speaking of being opened up, Menadue over the back gets another circle entry, looking for something from Nathan Jennings. Didn't get anything. Now the Saints have to work a way out. 16-yard hit.
They just lost control, Menadue. It's well umpired there from Jennings. Not enough for the obstruction, unfortunately.
Sent forward and cut out again. Ruben Wild just looking for a little bit of space. Steps back inside. Seen a couple of players lose their footing tonight.
Maybe a bit slippery out there.
And it has done nothing but rain in Adelaide over the last couple of days.
It has.
Thankfully, it stayed off tonight.
The farmers would obviously enjoy this rain.
Slid forward again. Oh, dangerous.
Oh.
Fred Gray taking a huge risk. If he got anything on that, there was problems.
Thankfully, they got rid of the own goal rule. So no problem there if it did go in the goal.
Storm again. Menadue does very, very well. Beats the first couple, can't quite get out. Saints almost broke away again. Fred Gray will knock it clear. No, play it from exactly where I want it. And we'll send it back. Get it back. It's going to find its way to Cox. Forced into making the pass earlier than he wanted to, I think, as not Damon Leng was going after him. Again, another good overhead. That's about as good as it gets from from Morton.
Oh, great ball.
Morton sends it in field, and good, strong challenge. Come out to this near side. Poked away by Bussico, but not far enough. Here we see that overhead and this control from Matt Morton. Children, if you're watching, that's how you do it. It doesn't get any better than that.
And that's the chemistry as well. Those two play together regularly at Premier League level for Seacliff. They know where each other are.
Cleghorn, was he tripped or did he fall over? He turns and looks at the umpire. You got the free hit. Did he fall or was he pushed?
I thought he did fall, but there could have been a stick. Just clipped him on the ankles, maybe.
Back to Cox, to Kitto, to Bussico. Bussico will just ship it down the line, intercepted, and we are seeing Mitchell move into a striker position. Good ball again. Now they have got a little bit of time and space. That's a lovely touch in field to Gleeson. Gleeson will pick it back up on the byline. Can he find something? Sends it across the front. Very good work from the Storm for that just to be a stick. Now while Oliver will go. Fires it forward. Finds Mitchell. Oh, Mitchell left it behind. So what he was trying to do, he tried to sell some candy.
Cleghorn read it.
But Cleghorn was not buying. Quick ball to Gray. Nice turn from Gray.
Good ball.
And they will send it to this near side to Thomas. Thomas will send it back in. First one was a Storm foot. You see that replay. Incredible work for that just to come off a stick. And the Saints will go again.
The Saints just wanted someone there just to tap it in. No one was there.
Fired forward again, and the interception will end up at the feet of Bussico. Then Bussico will go. Can they find him? They can't. That's a good stop. Players are having problems to stop and turn at the moment. The Storm will go again. Morton fires it across the front. Martinez gets it goalward. Dylan Evans with the big foot save.
It's dedication there from Martinez, putting his body on the line. Already on the scoreboard.
So this near side to Brown. Brown happy to go backwards. We'll find Cooper to Cleghorn. Cleghorn again will come near side to Wells. Wells will look down the line, gets it down the line. Inch perfect. Then he go against Cox, beats Cox. Can he pull it back? Yes, he can! James Mitton.
Great play there.
That will push them in front. And they will go 2-1 up. James Mitton scoring the second goal.
Great play there from the Saints, just able to eliminate on the baseline here. And a good 90 pass to Mitton, and he finishes with ease.
Did he nutmeg him? I think he megged him.
He may have megged the keeper.
I think he got him.
Oh.
Just couldn't get his feet together quick enough.
Very dangerous player, Mitton.
Kitto chops it forward. Gray not really given any time, and Al Oliver will range forward and then find Morton. Lovely turn from Morton. Morton will fire it in the back. Oh, Cox. No, Mitchell and Martinez. I'll never get forgiven by Mitter for calling him Cox, will I?
No, you won't.
I'll never live that down. But Mitchell and Martinez at the back post just couldn't get a stick on it.
Deflected there from James Keys, the defender.
Bussico lifted it forward. Intercepted. Brady O'Shea will look to release. The turn from Morton was, he's putting on a show tonight, isn't he?
He definitely has a lot of skill and just with enough power to eliminate players. And the flat tomahawk as well.
Cox to Busico. Busico near side to Menadue. Just sent it down the line.
Menadue's played well tonight. I think he may be on debut as well.
It's fired all the way across to Mitchell. He has to control it. Control it he does. Strong gets the free hit, goes himself, gets another circle entry, gets to the byline, has to just stop and come back. Looking for options, decides to go baseline again. Wonderful challenge.
Great tackle from Lee.
Nice little play there, and again the Saints will go quickly with Martinez just under the stick of one. Mitten manages to get stick, but again another free hit, another circle entry. Excellent challenge, and the Saints can come out. Mitten happy to send it back. Again working in very, very tight confines. Free hit will just release some pressure for them.
He's got to settle down the play here, the Saints. They've got to get their shape. There's 2.5 minutes to go. Shift the ball around.
Long ball. That one's not going to get through. Curtis Wilson picks it up. Oh, nearly lost it. Not Damon Leng is working hard in that high striker position. Greg Gray, Menadue nearly wore a stick.
Not fun, especially in the cold.
I mean, these are basically trial games as we move towards Hockey One for the SA Fire.
I've got a lot to choose from as well.
They certainly have. That's a lovely little move on the outside by Humphreys. Humphreys will look to the top of the circle, can't quite find anything. Now they will break out with Oliver. Oliver has options, decides that Mitchell is one of them. Just too much pepper on it for Mitchell.
Be interesting to see what the Saints do here. There's a minute 10 left. They
take as much time off the clock as they possibly can. You think they want to go in half time with a 2-1 lead.
They don't want to turn the ball over.
I don't want to take anything away from the Saints. They deserve their lead, but you know, on paper, this is an upset.
It is so far. I'd expect the Storm to come out firing in the second half, and can't wait for that. That's going to be.
So 40 seconds to go. What do the Storm do? Do they want to go? They do want to go. Turned it over in their haste, and Gray will pick it up. And James Humphreys, who's really sort of grown into the game in the last sort of 5 minutes. Probably wasn't intentional, but it worked. Mitchell is going to put him under a little bit of pressure. There's 20 seconds to go. Menadue looks for something, and unfortunately it goes against him, and the Saints probably can see this one out. They'll look at the stadium clock, they'll see 10 seconds, they'll just try and get it away. They don't, they find Menadue to Mitchell. The stick from Gray was enough, and that probably will be that for the first half. 2 quarters in the books. The Saints leading this one 2-1. Your thoughts on what was a breathless first half of hockey?
It was. It sure was. I'm very surprised at the result so far. But as I said earlier, I think the Storm are going to regroup at half-time and come out firing. It'll be interesting to see if Mitchell stays up in that striker line. He's been, well, first quarter he played in the back line and played well. Maybe that's a move Victory's got to make.
Well, so far, Mark Victory is the one who's going to get the biggest slice of schnitzel when they sit around the dinner table tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. Got the chocolate so far.
We will take a short break. We'll be back with you for quarter number 3. So welcome back to the State Hockey Centre, where the Saints are, well, I have to say it is surprisingly
It is
leading this one 2-1. We do know, thank you very much for watching at home, and I have seen that the interaction is going. Young Jack Holland, who is he's a usual on the comment section. We do see him quite a lot. So Jack, I would assume your feet would firmly be in the Saints camp, but Jack, if you let us know who you think is going to win this one, we would love to hear one. And all of you, just pop in the comments who you think is going to win this one. And Mark Corkle, yes, sorry, I do give Mark Victory his proper name, but we do know that he is Cheney. Yes, Cheney certainly has got the chocolates tonight, and will have the biggest portion at the Victory family dinner tonight.
He has so far, but I wouldn't write off the Storm.
No, and Jig is going to do everything he can to at least even the score. I have to say, I don't think I'm going to kind of look at my producer and see, have we ever seen a draw in any of the Premier Leagues? I don't think we have yet. I think every single one has been a win one way or another. I'm not entirely sure.
I think I recorded a 4-all draw these two teams last year.
In the Super League?
Match 4, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even need my producer, I had you. Yeah, so we just went with it. We went with it. Jack Holland, yes, he did say he's going for the Saints. I didn't think we'd see anything.
No surprises there.
And there's Cade Victory.
Oh.
No runs.
Unsure.
No, don't know. And Huey Purvis is watching from over in Canada. I think they're at least in summer in Canada, so it's not freezing cold over there, but I think it's still bits of snow lying around. So we are off and running, and Al Oliver has started like he means to go on. We'll find Mitchell, who has stayed in a striker role in the start of this third quarter.
Good move from Craig Victory there. He has scored 13 Premier League goals so far.
Dan Mitchell has.
He has.
Oh, he's a man on fire. Just couldn't quite bring it under control, and the Storm are going to go again. Curtis Wilson leaving it behind. I think that's Manadou, who's sent it all the way back to Kitto. To Busico. Kind of playing in that link role between defence and attack. Kitto has an option to this near side. Decided against it. Will again go to the far side. Can Charlie Roberts and Henry Bessel have a shout out, please? No, Jack. So the Saints, you don't want to sit on this lead, do you? Oh, he's held and he's just sold it a little bit short, and there are yellow shirts streaming forward. He just couldn't find one. Well, Oliver couldn't get it under control either.
Great tackle from Wells. Had a bit of work to do. Made sure that ball did not get into the defensive circle of the Saints.
So they'll go back again, and it's a dangerous game to play if that's the game they are playing. Fred Gray gets away, finds a lovely ball into the attacking field, into the attacking half. Mitten leaves it at the back post. Still managing to get a circle entry, comes off a stick and just go for a long corner.
I'd be happy there if I was the Storm, forcing him into a go corner.
Penalty corner. Well, I don't know where that.
It may have hit a foot.
Well, I think it came from Lockie Pole. I think the call came from Lockie Pole.
Obviously, he saw something and Jennings didn't.
There was people looking around. It was a half-hearted appeal for a penalty corner, but this is the first Saints penalty corner that we will see.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
I thought for a second they were going to follow and go with a triple battery themselves. They're not. They almost looked as if they were setting up with it. So Gleeson is at the top of one. Fred Gray is at the top of the other battery. It looks like we've got Humphreys and Thomas.
Gleeson scored 13 Premier League goals for Adelaide as well. I'm sure some of them have been flicks. In some good form at the moment. See what he can do here.
Injection comes, does go Gleeson's way, just didn't quite sit down, and Al Oliver not quite hearing the whistle.
I think he was there before he thought he was there. He just lost his footing.
Keep going out. It's just doing a little bit of this shin pads and all sorts of stuff come out there. It's an absolute mess behind that goal to the right.
Shin pads, gloves and boxes.
All sorts of stuff going on. Now the Saints are going to go again. Gleeson is in a very, very dangerous position. Better from the keeper. Goes for a long corner again.
I think it's still Wells in the goals. Much experience there.
Trapped down in that corner. Trying to beat Kitto. I don't know what's going on in this. Everyone's just gone crazy down in this far corner. Someone has said, Jackson Davies said, Oscar Keating thoughts on Brodie's kicks as we just see his attempt on goal. They have caught my eye. I haven't quite got a close-up of Brodie Gleeson's new shoes. I would quite like to see them.
They are very noticeable.
They are very white.
Maybe a bit of a trend going on out there, maybe.
Bussico will send it out to Cox. I hope they're new for the broadcast. I hope that he's decided to buy a new pair for the broadcast. Cox again, sends it out to Mitchell. Mitchell will reverse it through, doesn't quite find its way. Almost came back to Mitchell.
Oh, he disagrees with that one.
He did disagree. Now the overhead.
Well cut off from
stopped it,
Wilson.
just picked out of the air from Wilson, and then he will go all the way across, and again that's beautiful. Mitchell sarcastically waving to him, saying, I'm not stood over there, I'm stood over here. Gray, challenged by Bussico.
Great match up there, Gray v Buzzico.
Oh, that's fired forward, and then Kitto will leave it to go, and it will come out for a 16-yard hit. Again, we will have a chance to have a breath. Wilson comes back inside, then takes the option to go back to Cox. Down the line to Menadu. It's a nice turn. I think it's worked out for Morton. He will send it forward to Mitchell. Mitchell does very well. Has an option coming. A little bit of head down from Mitchell. Sends it into the middle. Martinez throws himself at it. Gleeson manages to get in the way. Mitten back towards goal. Lovely turn from Mitten. Can he get the ball away? Does manage to get it through. Oh, and then just too far in front. And Simon Brown had the option. And I tell you what, they would have been away and they would have been threatening again.
Yeah, the Storm defenders will be holding their breath. Sitting on the edge of the seat at the moment. Saints have come out well.
Cox looking for his options. Decides to go to Wilson. Cox again. Options behind were kind of cut off, and it kind of backed him into a blind alley, but
good recognition from Gleeson to cut off that pass, the back pass.
Now they can come away defensively. Both sides have been very, very good from the forward line backwards. That one's gone out though. Oliver is asking for it, didn't quite get it. They'll go back to Cox. Now Oliver does get it. He will slide it forward. Martinez is going to try and poke it away, which he does. Does very, very well. Cleghorn lifts it over the top, just over the top of Oliver. And it will be Gray. He will send it forward. That's a great ball. Popped up and into the head area of Brady O'Shea.
Yeah, just the right call there from Jennings, especially outside the circle.
Yeah, definitely outside, and we see it there. Committed challenge from think it's Connor Richmond's spouse.
It is.
Mitten. And it will pop up off her stick, but everyone will say play on, and then Al Oliver will send it down the line. Cleghorn will keep it in. Happy to go across. And they will go there, and then just around the corner, and Gleeson brings it under control.
Great track.
Just no options. And Kitto found Busico, and then Busico will win the free hit.
It's a bit of danger there. I thought it may have hit his shin pad, but Jennings calls danger.
Wilson back to Cox. And the Saints seem to have done well at cutting off the sideways option
Great press
that
from
Cox
the Saints.
has, and it's just rushing the Storm a little bit. That
Oh.
ball's going to find its way through as well. Saints players into the middle, and that one will be left and go harmlessly wide. But I think certainly tactically at the moment, Cheney is winning the victory
Yeah.
over Jig.
He is. I see what you did there.
I know, it's almost like I've done this before.
Yeah, it's a great press, and led by Brodie Gleeson from the Saints. As he comes again.
This time Cox will just slip inside. And we'll have an outlet on that far side as well. Gleeson chases all the way back, concedes the sideline, but gives the Saints chance to set up. Also gives the Storm chance to set up. That is absolutely inch perfect to Oliver. Oliver fires it at goal! Al Oliver! There is only one place that could have gone, and Al Oliver found it.
That is pure X factor from Al Oliver. He can do that from any angle, no matter what it is. If it's a tomahawk or a hit.
He had absolutely no right to score that. And Martinez, who stood in front of the goal,
He was in
looks
a good
about
position.
as surprised as anybody else. But that's gone in.
It was a good position there from Martinez as well, in case that went across goal. He could have just tapped it in, so.
Well, I remember seeing probably one of the goals of the year from Al Oliver in the Premier League last year, and again in round one he has not disappointed. But that, as far as hockey goes, from the sideline, the overhead, the control, the tomahawk, the finish, well, that's about as good as it gets.
The slogan is play to thrill, and that certainly is meeting up to its expectation.
I did get in trouble for a little bit of hyperbole last year, but that deserves every single little bit of it. Curtis Wilson will go. We have a game on again, ladies and gentlemen. 2 goals apiece. Wilson, can he find Martinez? Oh.
He's been diving everywhere.
He's not shy, is he? Here we see that overhead, the control, the tomahawk. I mean, is it Michael Wells in goal? There's not. No, it's who's come back in goal? Is it Damon Lang?
Damon Lang.
There's nothing you can do.
That
Nothing
is,
anyone could have done.
well, it could have been. It would have been a certain goal. Martinez was there for the tap in. It was just good execution from Oliver. Just feel the Storm have stepped it up a notch now.
Yeah, less than 5 minutes to go. Maybe Jig's listening to us and can't abide the idea of being beaten by his brother.
I'd hate to be beaten by my brother.
Again, lovely overhead from Oliver, who's really starting to take control of this game. Tried to get around the outside of Humphreys, and he said no.
Yeah, good tackle from Humphreys. He's
having a little chat with Matt Morton. Put himself under a little bit of pressure. Gets the relieving free hit though, and will go. Back to Gray. Shouts of press from the Storm sideline.
Great composure, Fred Gray.
Won the under-18 Best and Fairest 2 years ago, Fred Gray.
Very good player.
Good chase back, and Keeves will look to try and relaunch, but can't. Morton gets tripped up. Mitchell will come around the back. How can he do with it? Oh, he loses it. Point to the lights, Bitter. Point to the lights. No.
It was Morton that delivered the overhead, and Mitchell just missed it, I think. I'd be blaming the lights if I was him.
He's too big a man to do that, isn't he? And the press is there. Keeves will outlet. Find Thomas. Thomas will send it in the mitten direction. He does well to bring it under control. There's Kitto for company. Beats Kitto. Gets byline. Lovely stick work from Mitten. And the save eventually from Michael Wells.
He's kept well tonight, Michael Wells, although it's 2 goals. He's stopped some absolute ripping strikes.
Pusico gets it back.
So we'll go on this back 4 here for the Storm.
Down the line to nobody, but Martinez is going to make something of it. Does very, very well.
Oh,
Nice turn, but gets the free hit. Just holding his head. I think he's okay. Just copped one on the side of the head, on the ear. And you were right, the temperature has dropped markedly in the last sort of 10 minutes. That one will sting.
yeah, that breeze picks up and the temperature drops suddenly.
Kitto fires it across the front. That's a good stick in front. Found it's all the way out. Now Gleeson can go. One-handed, running at pace. Gleeson can't beat the other one. Oh, and
that's a card.
There's a green card.
Yeah, good call from Jennings. Just breakdown of play from Oliver.
Al Oliver is leaving the field. A little bit of a chat. Love to chat, Al Oliver, as he runs up.
Just push Gleeson off the ball. It's a good call from Jennings.
So the Saints just trying to methodically build up again and just hold that, just lets it short.
It's a good opportunity here for the Saints now that the Storm are a number down.
Well, less than a minute to go in this third quarter, and we are all tied up, 2 goals apiece. Sure that they'll get a chance to launch a final attack, but that's a wonderful overhead again, but again just plucked out of the air. James Keeves fires it across the front of the stick from Kitto. Relieves the danger.
May have been conscious about the time there. I know he had Gleeson down on the baseline.
It was anywhere will do at that point. And again, you just got to fire it in and hope for a touch before the siren goes. Nearly got there. An absolutely enthralling quarter of hockey again. As we go to the 3/4 time break, we will speak to you very shortly. So we are 1/4 away. There is Al Oliver, star of stage and screen. The lights are on him tonight, and it's well deserved. As we have another look at this, the first touch, and then that finish. There is the smallest window to aim at, and he's found it.
You can't get any better than that. That is just pure execution from Al Oliver.
it's his hand-eye coordination.
Oh.
I haven't spoken to him, but I can imagine that he hits a golf ball an absolute mile as well.
Yes, I'd imagine at a cricket bat as
anything
well.
that's hand-eye,
Yeah,
his hand-eye coordination is absolutely incredible.
naturally gifted.
Yeah. Never looks like he's trying, which is awful and great at the same time. So the Saints have seen their lead cut back. Can they rebuild again? Back to Cleghorn.
I've noticed for the Storm, Mitchell's going back into the defence. Strengthen the defence up.
Nice little turn again. James Humphreys has played good. I tell you what, some of the stick work that we've seen tonight from these gentlemen has been absolutely outstanding. Nice little turn. Mitchell gets beaten and they manage to bring it back. Look for a stick check in there, didn't quite get it. Mitten tries to poke it away, but can't quite get there. Menadou trying to ease past the Saints players, which he does, still going out to this near side. And kind of runs out of options and tries to find his way through, can't quite get there. Mitten will poke it away, only as far as Ruben Wild.
Yeah, good composure, just want to hold the ball here, get their shape. Plenty of time to attack.
Mitchell at the back. Not seeing the press. The Saints are happy to let them come up to halfway now. Not pressing them as high as they were. Wilson has to go and get it.
Oh,
Nuts in the back.
bit generous from the umpire.
Yeah, I think Brady O'Shea was certainly asking a question. It's not Brady O'Shea. I'm not sure who that is. Yellow shirt. Hal Oliver again plucks it out the air. Can he beat the first one? Fred Gray loses his footing again. Oliver just couldn't quite get away from Cleghorn. And again, that's not the first time we've seen Fred Gray lose his footing tonight.
Yeah, maybe he needs new shoes. Starting to get a bit worn from all the hockey he's played.
Mitchell comes back in field. They'll go back to Busico. Gleason on one side, Mitten on the other, and he still manages to escape, and then they will go back to Kitta.
Great composure from Busico. He just always seems to have a lot of time on the ball.
Richmond and Sparrows just can't quite get past. Kitto will swap places with Cox.
It's like Cox is playing that sweeper role, just trying to be a support for the outletting team.
It's generally where you're used to seeing Daniel Cox, but he does look like he's trying to play that link. He wants to play that link. I think we'll see him swap with Curtis Wilson, and just as we see that overhead, they do make that swap. It's incredible control again from Menadou.
He has played well, Menadou.
And then it will go again with Mitchell. Mitchell will lift it inside. There's a nice collision. Second one, second one, I thought we'd see a whistle, but we didn't. Umpires put the whistles away for a little bit, and we love it. A little bit of self-play. Loses out. Play on. Oh, lots of advice coming from the sideline, but we are going out to Gleason. Gleason could not get hold of it, and it will go for a 16-yard hit.
Oh.
There's one collision. There's a second collision.
Both teams want this victory, and that's going to do it, those 50-50 chances.
Those 1%ers, the efforts that don't show up on stat sheets.
That's correct.
Just over the top of Gleason, and Mitchell will be able to pick it up.
They've executed that overhead extremely well, the Storm. I don't think they've...
Well, they have players who are very, very good at it. Mitchell is incredible at it. Oliver, lost that one.
Bouncy pass there.
Again, the commentator's curse, and I wasn't even talking about what he was doing. But obviously he's very talented with it. Busico, Kiddo, Cox. But not only that, you have to have people on the other end of it who can deal with it, and we've seen that from Al Oliver and Matt Morton. Max Menadou. Sent out to this near side to Keeves. Keeves will send it down the line. Cox with a typical Cox-like challenge, just shuts the door.
He's done many of those challenges in his career.
Boucicaut. Oh, had it poked away, but illegally, say the umpires.
Wells just having
Felt
a
like a good challenge to me.
cheeky chat to Jennings.
Oh, that's fired across the front, and Martinez couldn't get that. Ball will hop over the fence, and everyone can take a breath. We'll stop the clock while we go and find it, or get a ball from somewhere. Here it comes down the line. And when Cox can get his feet set and get that right, there's not many players who can go through him. You have to go around him.
Have to go around him. He's very good with the flat stick tackle.
Lovely work from Cleghorn. He'll get his head up and look for options. One of those options is on the far side, and he just held up and he didn't quite get there.
Maybe a bit of fatigue setting in here. We've seen a few missed traps in this fourth quarter. I know they're all very fit, but
Mitchell just trying to get him to calm down. Sends it back to Boucicaut and across to Cox. Into midfield. Again, you just see that the Saints are happy to let them play there.
definitely going to a half court press here, the Saints, which has been applied by Mark Victory, I'm sure.
The overhead does come, doesn't find its way through to Morton. It's picked off by Cooper, and then Cooper will get on his bike and he will make his way through. Lovely stick work from Cooper, and a good ball. Is it going to get there? Oh, he just held up, couldn't quite get there, but it is going to break their way. Lee tries to find his way through, gets the free hit, and Lee will get it back. Has to work baseline, couldn't find anything. Now they can come away. Martinez told to carry, does carry, gets to halfway. That's when he will stop and try and come back, just lifts it over the top. Find Hutchins, and Hutchins will send it in field to Boucicaut. Boucicaut has to have a couple of goes at it, but does. Finally will sort it all out. Then out to Oliver. Oliver slipped it inside, but Morton hadn't quite read. It wasn't on the same book.
Wanted the through ball there.
Yeah, wasn't in the same book as Al Oliver, let alone on the same page. Gray. The back to Cleghorn. It's the slightly higher press from the Storm.
Yeah, good press.
Boucicaut just got control of it. The thing with Boucicaut is even when you think he's lost control of it, he manages to reel it back in. Back to Cox. To Kitto. To Cox. Overhead towards Boucicaut. Wonderful control from Boucicaut. That time he does lose out. Lee, does very well against Kitto. Now he can fire it across the front, just behind Gleason, and Gleason couldn't get hold of it. Mitchell sends it out. Cleghorn striding forward, and he will keep going and get into the circle, looks for something, gets nothing.
Ooh.
He's had a longing look at Nathan Jennings. Martinez chased from behind, just given a little nudge, but manages to keep going. Then we'll send it to Morton. Morton tries to get inside, but Gray will stop him away. Gray works around the outside. Now he will start to go forward, has to stop and come back. Then fires across. We'll find Cody Thomas. Thomas will find Mitten. That's a good ball to Mitten. Mitten fires it at goal, can't quite get there, and Cox will just relieve the pressure.
Another opportunity made out of nothing there for Mitten. Any opportunity's a good one in this situation of the game.
Cox sends it across to Morton. Out to Mitchell. Mitchell will fire it down the line in the Menadue direction, but cut out by Keeves. There's the control from Boucicaut. But a good challenge in the end.
Brady O'Shea.
Wanted a little bit too much time on it, lucky. And then that just little show which stood up Kitto and allowed Lee to keep going. Mitchell lifts it in. Don't think he ever would have got away with that one.
off the Saints stick. It's a long corner. Can they work something here? 5 minutes, approaching with 5 minutes to go.
Mitchell trying to go with the quick long corner. Has worked into a circle entry, and there's a penalty corner. Third one of the day for the Storm.
Will we see that triple battery that we saw in the first half?
Go 4. I want to see 4.
4.
Is there a limit? Are you only allowed a certain amount of players around the circle? Could you just put everyone there?
I think you can, but you've got to be wary of the fast break. You have no one to defend. It's virtually 6
just
players
score.
onto the keeper.
Just score.
Well, it seems easy from up here.
No, it doesn't. I think they have gone triple battery again.
Oh.
So who's at the top of these ones now? Mitchell, Busico, and not Damon Leng.
Will we see a variation? We haven't seen a variation yet.
Sorry, Ruben Wild is at the top. So we've got Wild, Busico and Mitchell in that triple battery. Goes to the far side to Mitchell. Drag flick Mitchell.
Good save from Evans.
Did get a touch from Evans.
Went low there, Mitchell. It's the right area to go.
Another long corner. Oliver will look to try and find something. Plays onto himself and goes back to Cox. Cox will send it forward. Manager with a touch. Martinez tried to bring it out. But this guy didn't quite get there, and Cooper will manage to tidy it up. Cody Thomas, just the amount of pressure that comes on these players so quickly. Thomas does very well, just didn't do enough. Cox finding himself in a more advanced position to Mitchell. Mitchell will send it forward. Wild doing everything he can to wrangle it. Free hit just outside. Mitchell wants control of it. As Cox away, Morton will give it to Cox. Cox down the line to Manager, just couldn't bring it under control. Less than 5 minutes to go of this one. All tied up, 2 goals apiece.
That's just that fatigue just setting in, I believe. It's just missing traps we've seen him make all game.
He's put a shift in as Maxi Manager. Another overhead. Whoa.
Oh.
Friendly fire. Oliver sends it towards Mitchell. Mitchell looks to pick a pass to Morton, finds Morton. Morton surrounded by blue shirts. Can he find a foot? Can he find anything?
Good tackle from Humphreys.
And the Saints will go again. Crawford sends it out to the far side. Out to Gleeson. Gleeson will slide it all the way across and just missed everybody.
It's the right idea. He had Fry running freely on the other side of the field.
Wild. It's a nice little reverse pass to Richmond's Spouse.
Clipped his back of the stick as he approached the circle.
2.5 minutes to go. Almost the next goal, the winner stage. Gray.
Oh,
Catch and release from Gray. Little wry smile, he realised he just about measured that right.
in this situation, it's important that both teams keep their structure here. They don't want to let that fatigue set in and they start playing passes they don't want to play.
Lovely stick work from Gray, but Menadue will steal it off him and he will go on a mazy little run, but just runs into Gray.
Oh, wanted a foot there.
Everyone wanted it. Everyone stopped but the Saints.
They're out here.
Then they find their way across. They do have people over. Out to Gleeson. Gleeson has Mitten and options in the middle. The option comes across. Came off a foot outside. Nathan Jennings just wanted to let it go and see what would happen with it. But all of the Storm players stopped and asked for the foot. And the Saints players didn't.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if there's that many players that maybe it did hit their foot.
Another circle entry. Thomas works to the byline. Doesn't manage to keep it in. It'll be a 16-yard hit. Less than a minute and a half to go. Now we are talking next goal, the winner.
Will we
Mitchell.
see a keeper come off and allow another field player? That's going to be the next question from the coaches.
That one will run out of play. Which way are we going? We're going the Saints way. Mitten sends it down the line to Gleeson. Gleeson just got all turned inside out. Couldn't quite get it under control. Wilson sends it all the way across. Is it intercepted? It is. Thomas chased down from behind from Morton, but the determination from Thomas keeps going to Mitten. Mitten fires it a goal. That is a massive save from Michael Wells. That would have been it. There is a long corner, but you would think by the time it comes back to them, there's not going to be much time. You just got to fire it in and hope that there's a deflection. That would have been it.
Kept his stance there. Wells, he did well to save that. That was
Still 20 seconds to go. The Saints looking for something, some kind of opening. Fred Gray fires it towards Cole. All of the players jumping out of the way. Don't want to concede the penalty corner. Then it is lifted and it will go out. 9 seconds to go. I think that one would be it. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you have watched this, this has been an absolutely outstanding game of hockey. 2 goals apiece. They will share the chocolates at the Victory household tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, take a breath. Fergus, your thoughts?
Oh, that was do or die for both teams there. I just wanted to find an outcome in the circle when Wells clutched with the save. He stopped a certain goal at the end there. Very well held out from the Saints against a quality Storm outfit.
Well, you talk about hockey that has it all. That was it. We've seen skill, we've seen finishes, we've seen commitment.
We've seen 3 batteries.
We've seen the triple battery, and we've seen goalkeeping. I mean, there's 2 saves from Michael Wells. If the Storm go on and do anything, then he is the gentleman you need to be going and shaking the hand off, because he has kept them in this game tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, from a somewhat chilly Gepps Cross, I've been Dave Webb as usual, joined by Fergus Roundtree. Thank you very much for spending your evening with us, and we will see you again soon.